Welcome to the NCW Library's Variety Show. Thank you for joining us today. To start us off, I'll share a bilingual story time for our youngest viewers. Then, STEM Outreach Specialist Ash will share a yummy kitchen science experiment.
Hola amigos, hi everyone. Yo soy Miss Clare y estoy aquí para otra hora de cuentos bilingües. My name is Miss Clare and I'm here for another bilingual story time. A ver, ¿estamos listos para la canción de la hora de cuentos? Are we ready for a story time song? Sacamos las manitas. Can we take out our hands? Abre las manos, cierra las manos, vamos a aplaudir, dir, dir. Abre las manos, cierra las manos, pósalas aquí, ki, ki. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Excelente! Great job, everyone. Bueno, ¿saben qué? Hoy no tengo un libro para compartir con ustedes. Do you know what, friends? Today I don't have a book to share with you. Pero, ¿saben lo que sí tengo? Do you know what I do have? Mis manos. I have my hands. Y hoy les voy a contar un cuento con mis manos. Today I'm going to tell you a story with my hands. Y esa historia viene de Tamara Jovanovski y Cristina León. And this story comes from Tamara Jovanovski and Cristina León. A ver, vamos a comenzar. Let's get started. Érase una vez dos duendecitos. Once upon a time, there lived two little elves. En esa roca vivía Pic. Y en esa roca vivía Puck. Pic lived on this little rock right here, and Puck lived on this little rock right here. Pic y Puck eran muy buenos amigos. Pic and Puck were very good friends. A veces se abrazaban. Sometimes they gave each other big hugs. Aunque otras veces peleaban. Other times they fought. Y les encantaba jugar a las atrapadas. And they loved to chase each other around. A veces, Pic atrapaba a Puck. Sometimes, Pic chased Puck. Y otras veces, a Puck le tocaba atrapar a Pic. And other times, it was Puck's turn to chase Pic. Y trabajaban juntos, construyendo con sus martillos. They worked together, building things with their hammers. Y mientras trabajaban, cantaban esa canción. And while they worked, they sang this song. Pa 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 pa, pa 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 pa, pa 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 pa, pa pa. Un día decidieron que querían construir una casa. One day, they decided to build a house. A ver, amigos, ¿les podemos ayudar? Can we help them? Bueno, lo vamos a hacer con los dedos. We're going to build it with our fingers. A ver, ¿están listos? Are you ready? Palo con palo. A stick with a stick. Palo con palo. A stick with a stick. Palo con palo. A stick with a stick. Y un palito más. Y la casa está lista ya. And one more stick and our house is all finished. Pero vino un viento fuerte. But there came a big gust of wind. Y la casa se voló. And the house flew away. Pero Pic y Puck no se dieron por vencidos. Peek and Pook did not give up. Se pusieron a trabajar con mucha paciencia y mucho esfuerzo. Very patiently, they set to work again. ¿Listos? Ready? Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Y un palito más, y la casa está lista ya. And one more stick, and our house is all finished. Y esta vez quedó mejor que antes. And this time it was even better than last time. Vino un viento, there came a gust of wind. Y la casa no se voló, and the house didn't fly away. Pero vino una lluvia, but the rain started to fall. Y la casa se desmoronó, and the house crumbled away. Pero Peek y Pook no se dieron por vencidos. But Peek and Pook did not give up. Se pusieron a trabajar otra vez. They set to work again. Pero esta vez decidieron poner un clavo en cada palito que ponían. But this time they decided to put a nail in every single stick that they put on the house. A ver, ¿estamos listos? Are we ready? Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Tick, tick, tick. Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Tick, tick, tick. Palo con palo, a stick with a stick. Tick, tick, tick. Y un clavito más, y la casa está lista ya. And one more nail, and our house is all finished. Y esta vez la casa quedó hermosa y mucho más fuerte que antes. And this time the house turned out beautifully, and it was even stronger than last time. Vino un viento, there came a gust of wind. Y la casa no se voló. The house didn't fly away. Y vino la lluvia, and rain started to fall down again. Y la casa no se desmoronó, and the house did not crumble away. Entonces, Peek y Pook entraron a la casa. So, Peek and Pook went inside their new home. Y allí vivieron y jugaron felices. And there they happily lived and played, ayudándose y contándose historias en la noche para dormir tranquilos. And they helped each other every day. And in the night, they told each other bedtime stories so they could fall asleep. Y colorín colorado, este cuento se ha acabado. The end. A ver, amigos, ¿podemos dar un aplauso a Peek y Pook con los dedos? Así. Can we give Peek and Pook a round of applause with our fingers like this? Muy bien, nice job. Bueno, amigos, ahora vamos a construir más. Now we're going to do some more building. Les voy a enseñar una canción sobre las herramientas. I'm going to show you a little song about some tools. A ver, ¿qué vamos a hacer primero? What are we going to do first? Ya sé, I know. Vamos a usar el serrucho. We are going to use a saw. A ver, ¿y qué podemos hacer con un serrucho? What can we do with a saw? Bueno, podemos cortar unos palitos. We can cut some sticks. Así, like this. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, ¿listos para cantar? Are you ready to sing? Con mi serrucho, 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 con mi serrucho, serrucho, yo. Zoom goes my saw, my saw, my saw. Zoom goes my saw, it goes A ver, ¿qué vamos a hacer ahora? What are we going to do now? Ya sé, I know. Vamos a usar el martillo. We're going to use our hammer. ¿Y qué podemos hacer con un martillo? What can we do with a hammer? Bueno, podemos clavar unos clavos. We can hammer some nails. Así, just like this. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, ¿listos para cantar? Are you ready to sing? Con mi martillo, 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 con mi martillo, martillo, yo. Bang goes my hammer, my hammer, my hammer. Bang goes my hammer, it goes just so. Bueno, amigos, ensuciamos todo. We made a big mess. ¿Saben lo que necesitamos ahora? Do you know what we need now? Necesitamos un cepillo. We need a brush. A ver, ¿y qué podemos hacer con un cepillo? What can we do with a brush? Bueno, podemos limpiar. We can clean up. Así, like this. Swish, swish, swish. Okay, a cantar. Let's sing. Con mi cepillo, 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 con mi cepillo, cepillo, yo. Swish goes my little brush, my little brush, my little brush. Swish goes my little brush, it goes just so. Muy bien, nice job, everyone. Bueno, amigos, ya es hora de cantar la canción de despedida. We are going to sing our goodbye song. A ver, sacamos las manos. Let's take out our hands again. Cuando pongo mis dos manos para arriba, mis dos manos tocan el cielo. Cuando pongo mis dos manos para abajo, mis dos manos tocan el suelo. Arriba, arriba el cielo. Abajo, abajo el suelo. Mis dos manos dicen chao y se van a descansar. When I put my two hands up, they can touch the sky. When I put my two hands down, they can touch the ground. Up, up to the sky, down, down to the ground. My two hands say goodbye and they go off to bed. Adios, amigos. See you next time.
Wow, can't wait to try that one at home. Who knew making cheese could be so easy? Now, let's join librarian Alicia from the Peshastin branch for a book recommendation for middle grade readers.
Hi everyone, my name is Alicia and I am a librarian at the Peshastin Library. Today I'm here to talk to you about Indian No More. This is a middle grade historical fiction chapter book written by Charlene Willing McManus and Tracy Sorrell. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where big changes were happening in your life and you weren't sure how to navigate them? That's exactly what happens to Regina Petit, our main character in Indian No More. She's just your average 10-year-old girl living with her family of Umpqua tribal heritage on the Confederate Tribes of the Grand Ronde Reservation in Oregon. And overnight, her and her family become Indian No More when the federal government, a part of the Indian Termination Policy, which happened from the 1940s through the 1960s, said that the Umpqua tribe and all the Confederate tribes of the Grand Ronde no longer existed. What does that mean? Regina and her family have always been of Umpqua heritage. How can the government say that they don't exist anymore? So her family is forced to leave their homeland in Oregon, which is all they've ever known, and through the Indian Relocation Program, they're sent to Los Angeles, which is a very different place from the reservation in Oregon. There, Regina and her family have to find a new home, a new community. Regina's at a new school with new classmates, and for many of her classmates, she's the very first Native American that they've ever met. So they navigate loss and change and racism. And Regina asks herself, am I still Umpqua? Am I also American? Am I one or the other? Can I be both? To find out how Regina and her family navigate all these really big changes and to learn really important U.S. history, You'll have to check out Indian No More. You can request this online at ncwlibraries.org.
Hi! Today we're going to make ricotta cheese. In this process, we're going to take milk, heat it up, and add an acid. In this case, it's going to be lemon juice. The lemon juice causes the proteins in the milk to clump together. And you are then left with these clumpy curds and this watery whey. We drain the whey off, and then what we have is cheese. But don't worry, you can use the whey in other recipes that call for milk or buttermilk, like buttermilk pancakes. And it's a really fun process, and cooking is science. So, when you choose your milk, you're going to want to try and choose either a raw milk or an not ultra pasteurized milk. When it's pasteurized, it has less of a chance to curdle, and that's the opposite of what we want. And then I'm going to use fresh lemon juice that I squeeze myself, but you can also use store-bought lemon juice. If you're going to use fresh lemons, I find rolling them out before cutting makes them a little easier to juice. You're going to have some way to heat the milk. I have a stove and a pot. And then for the straining at the very end, I take a container like this, I put a strainer over it, and then you have this stuff called cheesecloth, which is super helpful, very fine, and it comes in this long thing, and I fold it over a bunch of times because you want a lot of layers in order to get a very, very fine whey coming through there and not losing a lot of your curds. I set it up like this and let it sit to drain. All right. Oh, and we're also gonna add a little bit of salt to the cheese because it enhances the flavor. Here we go. You only need a little bit of the lemon juice too. For my quart of milk, I'm gonna be using at most a quarter cup of lemon juice. As you heat your milk, you want to maintain a temperature just below boiling. So a nice little simmer. I add in my little pinch of salt, and this can be to flavor, and then we wait and watch. You'll want to stir occasionally just to make sure you don't burn your milk. Also, just a word of safety and caution, well, a couple, is that this is hot, so having an adult present is probably really smart. And also, if you do choose to go with unpasteurized or raw milk, there is a chance that there is bacteria there because that pasteurization is a super high heating process that kills the bacteria. So if you have a lowered resistance to disease, you might want to choose to go with pasteurized milk, just not an ultra pasteurized option. I don't know if you can see it, but the top of my milk is kind of going like this, making for a little bit of a dancing pattern. That is a really good simmer. Now that I've let it simmer for a little bit and get nice and hot, I'm going to turn the heat off and add in my lemon juice. And as we stir, it should curdle and separate. Ooh. It's weird looking for sure. And using a quart of milk, you're not going to get a quart of cheese. You're actually going to have far more whey runoff than you will actual ricotta. All right, gonna let this sit in, curl for a little bit longer, and then we're going to pour it into our straining device. Remember that it is very hot, so you want to be careful and not burn your fingers. And there's that ricotta cheese at the bottom. All right, and now we just let it sit and drain. So it's still very hot, but I like to lift up the edges and kind of get as much of the moisture out of the cheese as I can. I do a little bit of folding over, and then you can twist. But remember again, the cheese is hot, so don't burn your fingers. And I just make a little pocket and I squeeze, and you can kind of see that more of the whey is even coming out now. But like I said, it's really hot right now. So you can wait for a lot longer, even until the cheese cools down, and do this process. But then I take my fresh made ricotta and I put it into a little container and put it in the refrigerator. And I save my whey actually in a container like this and put it in the fridge, and I'll use it in buttermilk pancakes, or I will use it as part of my sourdough bread or other things. You can also add it to like cereal in the morning and have a healthier addition to your breakfast meal. And with ricotta, you can eat it in lasagna. It's a main part. I actually really like to eat it cold on my toast in the morning with a little bit of honey and cardamom, and it's a really, really delicious treat. I hope you've enjoyed today's kitchen science and making some cheese. Now hopefully you'll get to enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for joining us today on the NCW Library's Variety Show. Our library's mail order and curbside services are now open. Also, with our library card, you have access 24 hours a day to all of the resources on our website, including digital books, movies, music, magazines, newspapers, and so much more. Head to www.ncwlibraries.org to get started, and find us on Facebook for all the latest news, events, and fun. See you next time, and remember, be kind and read on.